Okay, welcome to Peaches Corner. Today we're gonna be talking about business. I'm not gonna be telling you guys what's business, we already know what business is. I wanna talk about things that people normally overlook, normally don't consider, and normally find a time waster, rather. Let me say that. So I'm gonna try to make this a five-part series where I talk about things that people normally overlook or didn't take serious. I feel like it's a waste of time. So, today, what I'm going to be talking about is something that is very important when starting a business. If you haven't done it and you already own a business, this is something you can also do. A disclaimer, this is solely personal opinion. This is something I've observed along the years. I am not a professional, I've only studied entrepreneurship in varsity. I'm speaking based on my past years, what I've personally seen, and what I've observed. I am not here to tell you what to do. I'm just giving advice on things that I have personally observed along the years that people overlook, that people l- feel like it's not important. That's just it. This is just advice. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. Just a disclaimer. Anyway, let's get into it. So, the first thing I've noticed, or what I'm going to talk about in this video, is that people don't know who they are. People just don't know who they are. Do I know who I am? Not entirely, but I have done some work to know certain aspects of myself, and that's what matters. For example, I've gone through the years, I've realized that I'm a soft person. Number one, I'm the middle child. So I've always been, strong by myself, independent, didn't need anybody. And along the years, I've actually realized that that's not who I am. I'm actually very soft. I'm a crybaby. I I don't like drama, but at the same time I still have that independency side of me, that in charge side of me, which is something that also led me to wanting to own my own business because I don't want to be bossed around. But at the same time, like I said, I've discovered that I'm not this hard person that I thought I was, for these past years growing up. And I've learned that I've got good leadership skills, and sometimes I just don't have good leadership skills in terms of I've seen myself in certain situations where I can be a leader and sometimes I'm just there in the corner. Those are things I had to sit down and be honest with myself. Chloe, you are lacking in some areas you're good, and that's what's important. You understand? So that's what I feel like people lack when they start a business. You're solely focused on, I want to get this product out there, I want to get this service out there. Business is a very tricky, interesting, you know, life changing. It's just a beautiful journey to go through. And when I say beautiful, I'm not saying it does not have hardships or bad times. It does, but that's the beauty to it, because those bad times um yield, or should yield, you learning something from it, yielding good results. And if it's good times, it's good times, you're enjoying. So it's not solely based on making money. That's the main goal. But if you focus on just that within business, then you will see that you might not end up far, because if you're always chasing money, not chasing the growth, not chasing the learning of it, like always improving yourself within that industry that you're in, then you're not going to go anywhere. You get me? So business is something that you cannot have a blueprint for, and that's the beauty of it. Within each and every industry has its own beauty to it. Whatever you industry fall into, whatever type of business that you want to start, get to know yourself, get to know the type of personality that you have, because that is very important. I see a lot of people just chase to start, and I'm not saying that's wrong. It works for some people it doesn't. But depending as well on the type of industry you're going into, you need to know yourself. So what do I mean you need to know yourself? So say for example, you don't have good people skills. You don't know how to communicate properly, or you're rude, or you have a low temper, and for example you want to go into a sales company. Your company solely deals with sales. You need to be in front of people. You need to be out there all the time. That personality is not going to work when you're dealing with people. That can be a make or break, and obviously it's gonna break you. If you're always dealing with people and you have a short temper, you're rude, you impolite, what are the chances that your business is going to grow? be honest with yourself. So if, for example, you know that that's the type of person that you are, you have to fix it, right? And if, for example, you have that personality, but you know you're not going to be dealing with people, by all means, if you want to keep your personality, do that. But if you know that you're going to be in front of people, you're going to be in the front end of the company, you need to change that. You need to figure out how you're going to, either if you don't want to be in front, you need to come up with a plan. But if, for example, you starting, you're the only one, you need to be there, you're selling your product to the people, you need to have obviously a different attitude when you're dealing with people. And that's one of the things I mean when I say, when you get to know yourself, when you sit down with yourself, are you easily manipulated? When you enter into business, you're going to meet a lot of people. People might want to use you. They see that, okay, this person's idea is good. They're going to make money with this business model. If you're easily manipulated, people can easily steal your business under you. So you need to get to know yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? If you have weaknesses, not even if, the weaknesses that you have, how can you work around them? What plan are you going to put in place so that you can better your weaknesses and use them as a strength? Because your weakness can sometimes become your strength. So try to figure yourself out, try to get your to know yourself. You know, there's certain things that might clash with your personality when opening up a business. You might be a quiet person, but the business that you want to start requires you to be in front of people. That is a clash. And if you're willing to go into the business with that type of personality, then you need to work on that. But if you're not willing and you feel like, ah, it's not worth it, because I know, for example, my mentor, she does not like talking. She has a limited amount of words she wants to say in a day. She literally she will not go out of her way to say anything more than she needs to say. So if you're that type of person, starting a business that's, you know, that requires you to be in people's faces talking, you're not going to succeed. You get what I'm trying to say? And you're going to be killing the business. And you might find that you have a good model, you know, business model that can make you money. So try to figure out, what are my weaknesses, what are my strengths, how can I better my weaknesses, how can I use my strengths to my advantage, how can I change my weaknesses to be a strength. So get to know yourself, get to know what you love, what you don't love, you know. So just, that's something that I've come across, something that I've realized, that people don't really get to know themselves before they start the business. Because also another thing, the person that you are will be reflected within your business. If you are a lazy person, if you are a untidy person, trust me, it's going to reflect. Especially if your business is a physical business, it's not online, it will reflect. You know, so for example, you want to sell food. If you're untidy, like, there's just some form of untidiness that does not go with food, some level. It just does not go with food. So those are type of things that you need to know. If you can say, yo, okay, sharp, I'm not, you know, the cleanest person, and I need to work on that because I want to sell food. That's not my strong point, so I need to change that, you know. So those are things that you need to consider when starting a business, so that also maybe you might figure out what type of business you want to start. So that brings us to the end of our video, part one, get to know yourself. This also applies if you're not starting a business, but maybe you're starting a new job, you know, you're starting a new venture, whatever the case may be. Getting to know yourself will never, ever, ever, ever be a disadvantage to you. So I wish you all the best on this journey of starting a business, of getting to know yourself. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. Love you guys. Appreciate you for watching my video.